I'm just going to tell you right off the bat that this was my second best week ever. And I'm just feeling really encouraged by it because it wasn't like last week where I shared with you guys that huge $200 jacket sale. This was a solid week. There was one $60 sale, maybe a $50 sale, and the rest were just solid sales where I did a good job picking the items, I did a good job pricing the items, and now I'm reaping the rewards. So this week feels duplicatable. It feels like something that I can continue to do over and over again, and I'm just excited about it, and I'm excited to share it all with you. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jenny Shaneyfelt. I'm so glad that you clicked on this video. I am an online clothing reseller. I've been doing it for about 13, 14 months now. And you can do reselling in a lot of different ways. But for me, what my business looks like is I go to thrift stores, I find inexpensive but high quality items, and I flip them on eBay and Poshmark for a profit. Now, when I first started, I was completely fashion illiterate, and I pretty much am now too for myself, but I have learned from other resellers through videos just like this to know what items sell well and how to look up the item and see if it's going to sell well, and what brands to look for, what qualities to look for, what materials to look for. And that's what I hope that I can do for you. Every single week, I do a what sold video to share with you not only what sold, but I want to show you what each listing looked like, what I paid for the item, what my profit was, and all that good stuff. And at the end of the video, I'll do a breakdown of my overall profit. If you have been liking what you see on my channel and you haven't yet subscribed, I hope that you will consider subscribing and hit that like button too. It helps small channels out like mine more than you know, and I so appreciate every single one of them. Subscribing is always free, and if you subscribe and hit the bell icon, YouTube will send you a notification every single time I release a new video. Today, I'm going to be going over the week of April 21st through April 27th. Okay, first we have Bryn Walker oversized sheer tunic top, women's large to extra large, black, white, floral, Raquel artsy. Let me show you that Bryn Walker tag one more time. If you see this, you're probably going to want to pick it up, but at least look it up. These sell for insane amounts of money. This brand does retail and usually sell pretty well on the resale market. This one sold in only 6 days. I bought it for $3.99. I listed it for $47. The buyer sent me an offer for $35, which gave me a profit of $25.58. Okay, next, this one I had for a while. I had titled it Women Large Brown Linen Baby Doll Dress, Pockets, Tunic Top, Balloon Sleeve, Boho. The brand was Very J. There's your tag. Although I'm probably not going to pick something up just because it's this brand, but it was linen. It was a cute cut. It was a dress with pockets. That's always a plus. But it did sit for a while, so it may not have been a great pickup. Oh, it did have this right here, which I disclosed, where it says right here under condition, I put the loop for the button on the hem of one of the sleeves is missing. Maybe that discouraged people, I don't know. But I did continue to decrease that price over time. And at the beginning of this year's linen season, it did sell. All right, I paid $3.15 for this. I listed it at $33 initially. It sat for 250 days. And I sent someone an offer for $20.40, and they accepted. That gave me a profit of $14.35. Next, we have Free People Beach, women's large dress, purple pockets, Nikki Midi Lupine. I guess Nikki Midi Lupine was the style name. Oversized casual. So take a look at this tag because it doesn't look like other Free People tags. Normally the Free People tag is that little metal copper piece, and most of the thrift stores know to look for that, and they will mark it up. They didn't mark this piece up. I got it at a regular Goodwill, so I paid $6.99 because that's how they price most of their dresses. But FP Beach, that's Free People Beach. It sat for 112 days. I listed it for 45. The buyer sent me an offer of 30, and when I accepted, that gave me a profit of $18.96. Next, this was a linen piece that I had listed near the beginning of my resale career because it was 330 days ago. I titled this Match Point Women's Medium 100% Linen Tunic Length Top, Sleeveless Shirt, Ruffle, Coral. I paid $3.98 for it. I originally listed it for $35. I sent someone an offer for $24.69. That gave me a profit of $17.24. Next, Cacique. I do, usually when I'm in the thrift store, I will look through the bra section. I know I'm looking for Cacique and Wacoal. It's W-A-C-O-A-L. Those may be the only bras I've ever bought because that's the only ones I know for sure to look for. I need to do more research on those. But those two brands usually sell pretty quick for me if I price them right. So Cacique is Lane Bryant's line. So I titled it Cacique 42C Beige Nude Bra Boost Plunge Push-Up Lightly Padded Comfort. One of the things that I like about Cacique is they have that style name on the tag. There it is, Boost Plunge. I love when I can buy something with a style name right there on it, especially with a bra, because people, they like a certain cut and they know that's what they're searching for, so I feel like they will type that in. But I paid $3.50 for it. I listed it for $19 and it sold at full price. Yay! So someone bought that outright for $19 after 17 days, and that gave me a profit of $12.81. And this is just a plain nude bra. It just goes to show you that it doesn't have to be something fancy if it's in good condition and a good brand name. Because who doesn't want a good nude bra? Everyone needs one, right? All right, this one, I loved it. It did not photograph well, but this was so cute. It was vintage, it still had the tags on it, and there were so many different style keywords that I could think of to put in this title. So I just picked the ones that I thought best described it and would be the most popular. And it did sell in 22 days. So I ended up titling it Vintage with Tag Pink Coquette Cottagecore Top. Lace, pin tuck. Those are those tiny little pleats, pin tuck pleats. Peplum, Women Large Barbie. Okay, so the brand was Why Not Flirt. And the other side of the tag, I don't think I showed the other side of the tag. It was a goodies tag. Remember goodies? Are those still around? I paid $4.99 for it, and I originally listed it $55. There were absolutely no comps at all, so I made that number up. The buyer sent me an offer 22 days later for $30, and I thought that was a fair price. That gave me a profit of $20.26. Oh my gosh, this is the lowest, silliest sale I've ever had. Let me tell you what happened. So I was lowering prices, and I was gonna low this one from like 17 to 15 because I don't know if you know this, but on Poshmark and eBay, if someone has liked your listing, and on eBay if someone is watching your listing, if you lower the price, or on eBay if that item goes on sale, it's going to send a notification to that person. But it's just another way to kind of touch them again and put that in their mind again. So I do like to go through a little bit older inventory and lower the prices from time to time. So I was trying to put 15, I accidentally put 5 and I didn't catch it. So of course it sold that very same day for $5. But I had no money into these, so I still did make a tiny profit. My mom had given them to me. But I titled it American Eagle size 8 cutoff shorts. It looked like someone had DIY cut them off. Jeggings, super stretch 6-inch inseam. It still took 270 days to sell. Originally listed at 17, sold for 5. That gave me a profit of $2.05. Next, This one I bought at a bag sale, so I only paid 72 cents for it. I listed it Poshma, $173 because that's what it was new. Women's medium 100% silk t-shirt, floral luxury blouse, flowers, at Anthropology. So there's your tag. And I did show there were a couple of pics like that in the silk. I would have probably listed it for higher had it not had those. So I paid 72 cents for it. I had listed it at $29 initially. At 83 days, I sent someone an offer for $20. They accepted. That gave me a profit of $15.96. This one I was so in love with. If this had been my size, I'm sure I would have kept it. Oh, I just love this dress so much. And again, this was one that I did not photograph as well as it was just so beautiful in person. But this was Figueroa and Flowers. I've been selling a lot of Fig and Flowers, and Figueroa and Flowers are the same company lately. Women's medium, cottage core, midi dress, tiered, floral, boho, fairy. Oh, it was just so gorgeous. It was lined. It had these mother of pearl buttons. It had the smocking around the waist. Y'all know I love anything I can stick the word cottage core in. There's your tag. So I had someone message me, and I think she asked for measurements. I have a lot of people who do that, even though I put measurements in every listing, and I just took a screenshot of them and sent it. I said, is this what you're looking for? Let me know if you need something different than this. And she sent me this long message back and said, it's beautiful. I'm going to think about it overnight and see what my paycheck is tomorrow or something like that. And then before I even saw that message, she sent another one and said, oh, I couldn't resist. I had to have your beautiful dress. So someone loved it as much as I did. And she said, FYI, I'm going to wear it to my niece's or nephew's wedding, I believe is what it was. I should have looked, because those personal stories I love to hear and they are important to me. So if you happen to watch this, thank you for telling me that detail. I love that. But anyways, I paid $2.50 for it. I originally listed it for $48. I sent someone an offer for $43.20, and that was the one she accepted. It gave me a profit of $36.34, and it took 62 days. Not bad at all. Okay, this next one I bought for myself, but when I tried it on, it was horrible for me. It was horrible for my skin tone. The color was, the cut was not flattering for me at all. But if you look good in this type of dress, you're gonna look so cute in it. I titled it, Hey Sun, Women's 1XL Cottage Core Baby Doll Dress, Tiered Smock, Flutter Sleeve, Ruffle. I'm throwing all those keywords in that I think someone might sit down and type in when they're going to search for whatever dress it is that they have in mind for themselves. It sat for 87 days. I paid $6.29 for it. I listed it at $29. The buyer sent a $20 offer, and that gave me a profit of $9.71. Okay, I was super excited about this one. It was really boxy. It was full sequin. It was Eileen Fisher. It was just so many great things. And it only took 7 days to sell. Let me tell you about it. So I titled it Eileen Fisher Dressy Sequin Silk Top Women's Large Silver Gray Luxury Shimmer, $278. So I paid $4.99 for it. I listed it for $59. I sent someone an offer for $53. They accepted. That gave me a profit of $37.41. And she sent a message after she received it and said it was even more beautiful in person. Y'all, like a month ago in one of these videos, I was telling you guys that every time I get a message, or I guess I should say every time I used to get a message that said, so-and-so sent you a message about your recent sale, my heart would always drop. It was like this involuntary gut reaction of my body, like, I hope everything's okay. And I told you guys, I was like, I'm challenging myself to stop doing that. Like, what? How would my life change? How would my life be better? How would I better serve the people around me if I didn't expect the worst? And I'm not like that in every aspect of life, but I just noticed it as I was telling you guys about it that day. And since then, I have actively worked on changing my attitude about that. And it has felt so good, and I think I've done a pretty good job. And I've started to train myself to not expect the worst. Like, I'll just tell myself, let's see what my happy customer has to say. And y'all, it has made a big difference. Do you guys do that? When you get a message, do you get excited? Does your stomach drop? How does it affect you? And if you are like I used to be, I want to challenge you to try to train yourself to see it differently and see if it makes a difference. It has for me. All right, we're about halfway through. Okay, so this one, so I titled it Jules Women's Extra Large. Why did I not try this on? This is my size. I should have totally tried this on. Extra large 16 floral dress with pockets, purple 3/4 sleeve, Layla magenta stretch. It sold in 81 days. I paid $2.50 for it. I listed it at $33 and it sold at full price.
Yay!
That gave me a profit of $24.57. Next, I thought this looked like someone who was going to be in a vampire movie. They would need this. And I showed Chase, my fiance, after it had sold, and he thought it looked like somebody that needed to be wearing a sombrero playing the guitar in a Mexican restaurant. It's funny how different we see things. But anyways, I just thought it was gorgeous when I found it. I titled it Women's Size 6 Red Velvet Blazer, Embroidered Whimsy Goth, Maroon, Romantic, Fairy. Again, this one had so many keywords. It was Coldwater Creek. I initially paid $3.99 for it. I listed it for $33. The buyer sent me an offer for $25 after 81 days of being listed, and that gave me a profit of $16.96. Next, this one sold in less than a month. It's Talbot. Y'all know I love Talbots, and it was a 3X. Love selling Talbot's larger size, and it was a 3X petite, so more of like a specialty size. So Talbot's 3X petite, great condition, good style, probably gonna get it. I titled it Talbot's 3X petite denim jean jacket, burgundy purple. It was like, when you looked at this jacket, you could not tell if it was red or purple. So burgundy and purple, I put both of them. In red, I wrote the word red. Utility, safari, preppy. I paid $2.24. I listed it for $39, and it was part of my weekend sale this past weekend. And this one, I do some items at 10%, some items at 15%, some items at 20%, and someone snagged it up on a 20% off. They paid $31.98. That gave me a profit of $24.80, and that was in 29 days. I don't think I said that. This was Ralph Lauren 20W 100% linen button shirt dress, navy blue ruffle tie front. This one sold in 45 days. I paid $3.50 for it. I listed it at $55. The buyer sent me an offer of $40. When I accepted that, they gave me a profit of $28.50. Next, so this was a completely sheer bodysuit. I don't really know why people wear these, but the comp showed that I needed to get it, so I did. I titled it Nike Women Medium Mesh Bodysuit. Purple City Ready was the style name. Stellar Indigo was the color name. Long sleeve, thumb holes. It sold in 43 days. I paid $5.29 for it. I listed it at $50. The buyer sent me an offer for $30. I was super thankful for that, and I accepted. That gave me a profit of $20.27. Okay, this one was kind of an experiment. I've heard from other resellers that White House Black Market is not really worth picking up, but this one fit all the styles that I love to sell, so I tried it out and it went okay. So I may pick up more White House Black Market and just experiment and see. But anyways, I titled it White Cottagecore Boho Long Silk Top Embroidered Lace Semi-Sheer White Women Medium. I paid $3.50. I listed it for $27. The buyer sent a $20 offer, and that was after being listed for 29 days. I accepted. That gave me a profit of $13.41. So not a huge profit, but a good bread and butter sale. Floafers. Have y'all ever heard of floafers? Well, if you run comps for floafers, you're gonna be looking for these. They just look like penny loafers, but they were just like the croc material, like one solid piece. I really struggled with using that as my cover photo or this one because I wanted it to show the orange because I just knew some Tennessee Vols fan was going to snatch these up. But I did end up going with this one for my cover photo. I titled these New Flofers Men's 10 Water Shoes, Slip-Ons, Boat, Country Club, Gray, Orange, Penny Loafers. I bought them for $5. I listed them for $29. I sent someone an offer for $23.40. That gave me a profit of $14.28. So again, not a huge profit, but a good bread and butter sale. Beach Riot. I titled them Beach Riot Women's Small Leggings, Tropical Floral, High Waist, USA, Sport, Yoga, $108. I paid $4.99. I listed them at $30. The buyer sent me an offer for $25 after 26 days, and that gave me a profit of $15 and a penny. All right, we got 3 more. Skirts. I love good quality skirts. Crown and Ivy, Women's 16 Golf Skirt, Seersucker, Scalloped, Layered, Red, White, Preppy. If I had had room in the title, I would have put the word pickleball. It was listed for 52 days. I paid $4.15 for it. This is not right. This says that I listed it for $52, but I definitely did not. I'm sure I probably listed it at $25 instead of $52. But the buyer sent me an offer of $19. I accepted. That gave me a profit of $11.23. Next, this one came out of my closet. I am just trying to cull through some old stuff that I know I'm not going to wear to make room in my closet. And if I can make a little bit of profit in the process, then good for me. So I titled this Y2K Old Navy Women's Large Red Sweater, Cable Knit, Zip Hoodie, Pockets, Wool, Angora. So today is May the 5th. So this just goes to show you that you do not have to wait to list your items until they fit the season that we're in. So I had zero money into this because I had had this for a bajillion years. I listed it for $24 and someone sent me an offer for $15. I was glad to accept for a profit of $12 and an empty hanger in my closet. Okay, this one was my biggest sale of the week, and I've actually sold this exact same dress twice now. The first time it sold, I believe, in 4 days for full asking price, which I had listed it for $50. So this time when I listed it, I was like, well, that one sold so fast at full asking price. Let me ask more and see what happens. So let me tell you about it. It's Outdoor Voices. Here's what your tag looks like. Outdoor Voices, for me, that's a bolo. Extra large exercise dress, black, white, polka dot, athleisure, tennis, skirt. And again, had I had the room, would have put pickleball. So last time it sold in 4 days for full asking price of $50. So I listed it at $75. I was like, we'll see. So it had been listed for a whole lot longer than 5 days. It had been listed for 197 days. But the buyer sent me an offer for $60. So I got a whole $10 more this time. And that gave me a profit of $45.85. All right, that's all the sales for the week. I told you guys this was my second best week ever. So let's get into the full breakdown of all the profit and what I actually get to keep. But before I get into that, I have a question for you guys. I told y'all I was going to start asking y'all a question each time. So today my question is, what is the meal that you cook the most in your household? For me, I guess when I plan it out, I have one meal, and then I have a meal that I have on the fly that I can cook usually anytime. So I'll tell you about both of those. So the thing that I cook the most on purpose is tacos. I make the boys 2 tacos a piece. Lincoln likes a normal taco with cheese and meat. Jake has just a plain meat taco. I don't know, it's weird. And then I make on some cheese quesadillas on the side and usually put some strawberries with it for some fruit. But Chase and I, for some reason, we don't do the tacos. We do nachos, and I just put it all on chips. So we love that. And then you guys are probably more organized than me. Maybe you guys don't have this happen, but many nights I'll be like, 6:30, what am I going to cook for supper? And so I always have on hand the stuff for grilled cheese, bread, cheese, and butter. And so I'll make the boys a grilled cheese, and I always keep these ham steaks in the refrigerator, and they keep for a long time, and they'll cut into several servings. So I almost always have those to go with it, and I'll just heat those in the pan, serve it with some fruit and or vegetables, and hit all the food groups. And when they have grilled cheese, I don't have grilled cheese because I'm gluten-free, but I can always find myself something. But those are mine. I can't wait to hear yours. What are the things that you cook the most in your house? All right, so let's talk profit. So this week of April 21st through April 27th, I sold 22 items. 15 were on eBay, 7 were on Poshmark. And my best day of that week was Monday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items on Monday, 3 on Tuesday, 3 on Wednesday, 1 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, 5 on Sunday. So I just thought that was a little interesting breakdown. I've been doing this tiered weekend sale, and then everyone who's watching after the sale is over, on Monday, I'll send out offers to those people. So maybe that's why there's so many on Monday. I don't know. I have to pay closer attention to that. Maybe I'll do a video for you guys about how to run that sale. Are you curious? It's on eBay. All right, so let's talk profit. But before we do that, I'm going to update you on my experiment. I told you guys I was going to promote all my eBay listings across the board at 2%. So just an update on how that's going. 3 items out of my 22 this week sold via promoted listing. So for 1 item, I paid an extra 71 cents. 1 item, I paid an extra 65 cents. 1 item, I paid an extra 70 cents. So far, I can't really tell that promoting everything at 2% has made a huge difference in sales, but I can't say that I would stop promoting them at that, because it's not like I'm out a whole bunch of money, and if a sale comes along via promoted listing, great. This is my 2nd week doing it, so I might, after the month is over, I might up it a little bit and see what happens. But okay, let's talk numbers for the week. If I look at the price my customer paid for the item plus the shipping they paid, that was a total of $776.08. But I don't get to keep all that. So I have to take out the fees that Poshmark and eBay kept. That was $117.50 total. I have to take out my cost for shipping was $140.56. And I have to subtract the price that I paid for each item in the thrift store. So that's my cost of goods. For all 22 of these items, I spent a total of $78.41. And that leaves me with a weekly profit this week of $439.61. I'm so proud of that. Not necessarily, well, yes, because of the amount. I'm proud of the amount, but I'm proud that it wasn't just a random huge sale that bumped my numbers up like that. And I'm also proud that I can continue to run my resale business in a way that it seems to be continuing to grow, while also getting this YouTube channel off the ground and recording and editing these videos and giving you guys something good to watch each week. If you guys have not yet subscribed, I hope you'll consider subscribing to help me be able to continue to bring you guys free content. So I have been doing this for a little over a year, and I looked at the numbers. If I could duplicate this week every week and make that amount of profit every single week, it would be over $20,000 profit for the whole year. That's exciting to me, but I'm gonna make it even bigger. It's gonna be so great and so much fun. Y'all come along and do it with me.